Hello everybody, welcome to School Zone again. We're here at Okaloosa Technical College. My name is Carl Grimes. I'm the Vocational and Career Advisor here at Okaloosa Technical College. One of my guests today is Marcus Hensinski. He's the Commercial Foods and Culinary Arts Instructor, and we're so glad to have Marcus here today. Hello Marcus, how are you?
Carl, it's good to see you and glad to be here.
Well, thanks. First I wanted to talk a little bit about OTC, Okaloosa Technical College. We have 11 industry certification programs for adults. We also have 6 elective industry certification areas for high school students as well. And Marcus's program, he teaches post-secondary, and secondary students here at Okaloosa Technical College. And the thing is, Marcus, our industry certifications, they can be a great pathway to a career. And what I wanted to do today, Marcus, was to ask you a few questions. Can you tell us a little bit about your background?
I've been in the industry for longer than I care to admit, but about 35 years. I did train at the Culinary Institute of America in Hyde Park at the Hyde Park campus, and owned a restaurant for about 10 years. I've worked for a couple of different types of operations, also in the in-between time before and after that, some restaurants, a couple of high-end restaurants, actually church feeding program where it was more like a banquet service. We'd serve 400 to 600 people on a Wednesday night, and then also worked some in the healthcare field in nursing homes. So I've done several different things.
Well, I'll tell you, going into your classroom, watching how you work and how you organize everything, it's fascinating to see what you guys are doing.
A lot of what we'll focus on will be some of the fundamentals that you don't necessarily see as much in entry-level positions. We're currently working through stocks, sauces, and soups. We'll also work a little bit with meat fabrication. We'll work with bakery. We'll look at doing some caterings as well, so that the students get a little bit broader range of items. We've done some things for the faculty recently.
Yes, I could attest that was delicious.
Right, we're somewhat limited, so we're looking for as many opportunities to do production, to do more practice. We try and focus on as many of the techniques. I try not to teach specific recipes, but more techniques that apply across the board to a variety of settings. We'll cover that with baking. We'll cover that with sautéing. We'll try and cover as much. There will be obviously a few things we miss, but we just try and give them as much of a rounding as they can.
They really know, when you send them out into the workforce, they really know what they're doing. They can improvise, and they're making good, fresh food. So,
food service is certainly at an entry-level position, which is where we all have to start at some point or another. Is not glamorous at times, and is a lot of hours, and not always maybe the pay that you're hoping to get to begin with.
right.
But with some perseverance and good professionalism and good work habits, that gives you an edge and kind of a leg up on so many other people that are coming in and learning within the industry.
Can you shed some light on some of the certification information?
Sure. We currently use the National Restaurant Association's ProStart program. It's comprised of 2 books. So basically it becomes something of a 2-year program. We do have some students that are currently accelerating a little bit, so that they hopefully will end up within 3 semesters graduating. So requires, especially for the high school student, a little bit of pre-planning and considering maybe doing starting into this their junior year if they're available, if they've gotten enough of their core curriculum out of the way. But it gives you a chance to go through and then also reinforce what you're learning with that second year. So unfortunately, as good as the food shows are and the food networks are, it's not always a realistic representation of what you need to put into a program like this, and what you need to be able to get out of and to get the most out of a program like this.
Speaking of which, can you take us through a typical day in your classroom?
Well, let me go with kind of a typical week because each day
Okay.
will vary a little bit. Generally, we are in the classroom a couple of days a week, preferably Monday and Friday. During the middle of the week, Tuesday through Thursday, generally we're in the kitchen. And we're maybe doing, at the beginning, sanitation and safety, which is crucial in the industry. So we'll be learning some of the basic things during that, the importance of measuring and the importance of working with baking formulas because they are much more specific and much more controlled than just making a pan sauce, sauteing off a breast of chicken and finishing with a pan sauce. We'll be doing that too, but we'll try and cover, and we try and cover kind of in a comprehensive way, but also we try and structure so we build on something that we've done previously. So we get a little bit more repetition than just having to get to do a sauteed chicken breast one time and then having to remember that for 2 years. One of the other certifications I didn't mention is our sanitation, the Serve Safe and the Safe Staff sanitation certifications that everybody needs within the industry to be working. So most times the place you're working will have to foot the bill for that, but if you're walking in with a 5-year certificate or 4 years left on your certificate, that's a big bonus, that the people doing the hiring will look at.
What a great career choice for someone, and at an affordable price. It only takes an average of about 1.5 years if you enter an industry certification at Okaloosa Technical College. So thank you for being our guest today. We appreciate that and like to have you back on for future shows. Tell us a little bit more about the dishes. I like to hear more about the great food that you make. But thank you. It's Marcus Hinsinski, our chef and instructor at Okaloosa Technical College, and we'd like to thank him again. So we'll be back in a second with another guest.
I'm one unlucky guy. The chance of being involved in a robbery is 1 in 757. The chances of being struck by lightning 1 in 750,000.
Please fasten your seatbelts for unexpected turbulence.
The chances of being a victim in an airline crash 1 in 29 million. Hey, could I get some peanuts? The chances of being involved in a car crash are far greater than lightning strikes and plane crashes. And if you are texting while driving, your risk of crash increases 23 times. Now, I may be an unlucky guy, but I don't have to be part of that statistic, and neither do you. Drive responsibly.
Welcome back to the School Zone and Okaloosa Technical College, featuring another one of our great programs here. And now we're going to feature cosmetology. And our instructor that we're lucky to have here today is Twyla Hall. Hello, Twyla.
Oh, hey, Carl. Thanks for having me.
It's great to have you. And I've been in your program, walked through many times, and it's just amazing what's going on in there. Everyone's very happy. First of all, your
Right.
students are at ease and engaged, and just all the different things that you teach in there is quite amazing, and the great equipment, the great instruction, and I'm just glad to have you here today.
Oh, well, thank you.
Well, I want to ask you a few questions. First of all, we're interested to know, can you tell us a little bit about your background?
Like I said, my name's Twyla Hall. I'm a Florida native. I grew up in a little town. You ever heard of Definiak Springs?
Yes. Yes.
Little farm. I was a little farm girl. Grew up there and graduated from Walton Senior High in '82, and then actually started cosmetology school at what was called Bay Area Votech then, which is Okaloosa Technical College, the same school. Started class in the same school that I'm actually teaching at now. Graduated probably '84 and worked in the industry since. Started teaching in 1999. While still always working in the industry, I just can't seem to, let that go. But and it's been a joy.
It's a great industry.
Yeah,
and,
it is.
Certainly, there's high demand for your graduates, and especially with the training that they get.
Right.
I've talked to a lot of the industry members from our community, and they're very impressed with your graduates, and it's good to see them taking part in the development of your program, so that we can stay right on the cutting edge in our development of our program and keep it moving forward. So I'd like to ask you, speaking of which, when someone completes your program, what exactly do they gain as far as certification?
Well, of course, what we want them to gain is Florida cosmetology license, and so that's a licensure through the state. We're under the Department of Business and Professional Regulations, so it's a regulated license.
So it's a license.
Right.
Okay.
Yes. So they can't work unless they attain that license. So
Right.
our goal is to put them through the program, have their skills, not only just the basic skills, but we try to prepare them for the industry when they get out. So their work prepared for sure on what's the trend that's going on at the time, but they have to have a license to achieve that. So our goal is to prepare them through the school, prepare them for their licensure exam, and for them, of course, to go and pass, and then start working in the field.
Well, let's talk about a student. There's somebody out there now. I bet they're just getting ready to maybe give us a call. By the way, it's 850-833-3500. You can give us a call and ask for more information. Ask for Carl Grimes, Twyla Hall, or any of us at the school can give you more information about any of our programs. But let's say someone is going to call now and they want to get started. Is it possible for them to come by and take a tour, maybe take a look, if they maybe set up a time?
Yeah,
can
sure.
come look at your program?
Yeah, anytime. They can call the front office, and they'll let us know, when they want to come by. The best time for our class is probably after 1 p.m., for me. And then we can give them a tour, show them what it's about. We have a spa area where we do facials, manicures, pedicures, and we have our salon area.
I see.
If they want to come earlier, they can see, when the class is going, how it actually works. They're working on live people, the public. They come in and sign a release form, and it's set up just like a salon with 24 stations. And they learn all the regulations and everything, just like if they're at work in a real salon. So.
Now you actually, as far as experience, your students actually work and give services to the public. Is that correct?
Yes, they have a minimum requirement before they can apply for state board. So, for instance, 75 haircuts they have to have. So we have to have the public. The public comes in and signs a release form, of course, and the instructors are there. We've never had anyone get really messed up or anything, and so we're right there.
So they do a great job.
Right, they do, and that's part of their training.
Right.
They have to go through that. Not only haircuts, there's several other requirements before they can actually apply for state board.
I've noticed there's quite a few people that come, so they're doing something right.
Right.
And they,
Yeah.
they seem to look fantastic.
Yeah, we have clients that have came for our school clients for 30 years actually, since the school opened. So.
Well, let me ask you, what are some of the skills you look for in a student before someone comes? Or what would you advise a student to do entering your program?
Right. Well, fortunately, our industry is one that you can't push a button for. You still have to touch people, talk to people. Communication skills is a big thing. Not that if you don't have the best that you can't learn how to have communication skills. Dexterity is a good thing where, you learn how to use your hands in different ways and to cut hair. Math skills, different angles. Hair is all angles and just all math skills, really. It's angles, lines, elevations, things like that. So math skills is a pretty good thing to have.
Right. So book skills, hands-on experience, they have to have some dexterity, and all these things make for a great cosmetologist, I guess you could say.
Yeah, you wouldn't want a bad haircut, would you?
No, absolutely not. I want someone.
I know you
that
like your hair to look good. Yeah, yeah. So, but not only practical, it's like you said, theory too. So our textbook is, it's quite thick. If someone wants to come in, if they're interested in take a tour, I can show them the textbook and what they'll be getting into. But it's not just frou-frou looking at hair, it's anatomy and physiology, chemistry, a lot of science, math on angles and things like that for hair cutting.
How long does it take to finish your program, someone to get their license for the state of Florida?
Well, we have, during our day program, we have high schoolers and adults in the program. So if they're high school, they're only coming half-time, so that takes about 2 years to get through the program. If they're adult, it's usually 3 semesters, which is 1 school year and then a portion of another. So it's a 1,200-hour program.
Very good.
Yeah, so-
Then they're ready to go to work on their
Right.
career. And also it can lead to opening up your own salon as
Right,
well.
yeah. We study all the way from working in a family type salon to spas to corporations, all the way up to owning your own salon.
Fantastic. Well, again, I encourage anybody to give us a call, and we'll be glad to take you on a tour and introduce you to our cosmetologist instructors. Great cosmetology program here at Okaloosa Technical College. And thank you, Twyla, for
Thanks for
coming
having us.
today. And we'll hope to have you back on future shows.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you. We'll be right back.
I'm one unlucky guy. The chance of being involved in a robbery is 1 in 757. The chances of being struck by lightning 1 in 750,000.
Please fasten your seatbelts for unexpected turbulence.
The chances of being a victim in an airline crash? 1 in 29 million. Hey, could I get some peanuts? The chances of being involved in a car crash are far greater than lightning strikes and plane crashes. And if you are texting while driving, your risk of crash increases 23 times. Now, I may be an unlucky guy, but I don't have to be part of that statistic, and neither do you. Drive responsibly.
Welcome back to our program, The School Zone, and we have another guest we're going to talk to today. Her name is Melinda Owens. We call her Mindy at the office, Mindy Owens. Mindy, it's nice to have you here. Thanks for being here. Mindy is the financial aid specialist at Okaloosa Technical College, and she's going to give us some great information for those of you who possibly can't pay for tuition at this time, and give you some more options to look for so that you can attend Okaloosa Technical College. But again, Mindy, thanks for being here today.
Well, thank you, Carl. I am happy to be here. I enjoy sharing this information with students and really want to help them find ways to pay for their continued education. It's something I've been doing for a little over 25 years, so I have a great passion for it.
Wow, 25 years. So it's good to have you here. We need all the expertise and the knowledge you have about seeking out and finding options. I know there's a lot of great grants and options out there for students to help them pay for school that can be difficult for some. And speaking of which, what would you recommend for a student that wants to talk to you? They maybe make a call and make an appointment, talk to you about financial aid?
Yes, initially, students that are interested in coming to school, the first thing that I always tell students, whether they're coming here or going to another school, is to apply for the federal Pell Grant. I can't stress that enough to students. There are 2 applications available right now. One is for the 16-17 school year, which is current, and the application is already available for the 17-18 school year that starts in August of 2017. The website is fafsa.ed.gov. You can find it on our website or most school websites, and it's the federal application for all federal aid. For OTC, the Pell Grant is pretty much what we use here, but for other schools, that's what they would apply for student loans, for supplemental grants, for federal work-study programs. So it's an application that covers just a whole gamut of financial aid opportunities. For students under the age of 24, in most cases, they need to include parents' information, so their parents need to be involved with it, even though a lot of times they feel that they are independent because they're now 18 and hopefully going out on their own. They do usually need to include parents' information. It's a pretty basic, easy application. Students can be eligible this year, I believe, for as much as $5,900 on the Pell Grant for the year, or they might be eligible only for $200. So it just all depends on how the application, the information that's included is filled out.
Let me ask you, we have of course, as everybody knows, we have a huge military community. Can you tell us anything about, as far as the VA options available?
Absolutely. We utilize VA benefits here. We do the Chapter 30, which is the Montgomery GI Bill. We can utilize the Chapter 33, which is the post 9/11, which is a majority of what our students are eligible for now. With post 9/11, a lot of our military personnel can actually transfer that over to their spouses or their dependent children's to use if they maybe are not planning on using those benefits. We also have Chapter 35, which is for dependents of deceased and disabled veterans that would go through the VA. That's another VA type of benefit. And then we also have what's called My CAA, which is for military spouses. If they are on active duty and depending on their current rank, the My CAA is also a program that can be utilized that will pay for tuition for spouses.
Talking about the Pell Grant, once somebody applies for a grant, how long does it take to find out if you're going to get the grant?
Usually once they complete their application, within 24 to 48 hours, they should receive an email from the Department of Education that will indicate their application has been processed, and it will give them an initial information on how much they may or may not be eligible for. Sometimes it may say that they're not eligible for the Pell Grant, but they're eligible for loans. Unfortunately, we don't do the loans here. That's not something that, due to our cost, that we've needed. But with the Pell Grant, it will give them the initial information. Now, with that being said, in some cases, once we get the information and I start working with the student on their file, if corrections are needed, it may adjust it some. It may go up, it may go down. So it's a good, again, it takes about 24 to 48 hours for them to get the information. It takes about 7 to 10 days for me to get that information. So the next step for a student would be to make an appointment to come see me. Come in and let's sit down and look at your file and see what the information is, if there's additional information that needs to be collected, if there are corrections needed to be made, and all of that I can do once the student comes in to see me.
So give us a call, 850-833-3500. That's 3500. And Melinda Owens, our financial aid specialist, will set up an appointment. You can sit down and look over your options. But it's probably best to set up an appointment because there's a lot of people that want to talk to you, and we want to get everybody to get their time and be able to ask all the questions they can. We have brochures, literature, we can help, but we're more than happy. We want to get people in and to help them out with their financing so they can seek their industry certification here at Okaloosa Technical College.
That's true.
And we'd like to thank you. Was there anything you want to add about
That's the
Financial
majority
aid?
of the financial aid. We do also utilize the Florida Bright Futures here. A student can use their Florida prepaid scholarship here. We have through WIOA, the Workforce Innovation Opportunity Act is through Jobs Plus and Career Source. 6 of our programs qualify for that. That would be the LPN, AMAT, automotive, electrical, HVAC, and welding. That's a great program. You just have to check in with Career Source, Jobs Plus down on Racetrack.
And AMAT would be the medical administrative
The medical administrative
specialist,
technology,
and
correct.
the HVAC, the heating and air conditioning.
Correct.
Right, they're part of
Yep.
that.
So those are all part of it. And then just finally, one last thing to mention is the fact that you should check everywhere for scholarships. Check with where you work. Check with where your parents work, your grandparents. Quick story, I have one student in our LPN program that had worked for Whataburger. I suggested she check with them. Since she had been working with them full-time before going into the LPN program, they gave her $2,000 per semester from the Whataburger scholarship, and during her schooling, she was only working about 15 hours a week. So you just never know where those scholarship opportunities are going to be. I used to administer one from a bowling association. As long as you were on a bowling league, you could apply for and qualify for it. So there's lots of scholarships out there as well of the federal and the state and the VA benefits. So
Even a
no stone unturned.
A program like welding, they can get scholarships, and they can get their certification for free, basically, if they qualify.
Absolutely. We have a couple of students this semester that work for Okaloosa Gas, and Okaloosa Gas is paying. So, definitely check with employers. There's always opportunities there. A lot of employers are taking education seriously.
Wow, that's great information. So come see us. Come see Mindy Owens, Melinda Owens. We call her Mindy, but she's got a lot of great information, a lot of good options for you out there to attend Okaloosa Technical College. So, but we'd like to thank you for viewing today. Our address is 1976 Lewis Turner Boulevard. We're right across the street from the golf course, over by the fairgrounds. Come see us. We'll give you a tour of our facilities and let you look at our programs. Our website, it's otcollege.net, otcollege.net. So there's a lot of great information, your information, I believe. Financial aid is on there, everything about our programs. So check out our website. But thank you very much for watching today. We're going to have some more shows where we feature some other programs here at Okaloosa Technical College. And thanks again for watching.
I'm one unlucky guy. The chance of being involved in a robbery is 1 in 757. The chances of being struck by lightning 1 in 750,000.
Please fasten your seatbelts for unexpected turbulence.
The chances of being a victim in an airline crash? 1 in 29 million. Hey, could I get some peanuts? The chances of being involved in a car crash are far greater than lightning strikes and plane crashes. And if you are texting while driving, your risk of crash increases 23 times. Now, I may be an unlucky guy, but I don't have to be part of that statistic, and neither do you. Drive responsibly.